Hey guys, this is your first video since the previous one or the first one that I tried to make still did not get to you. I'm still working on trying to get that one because it's a review and it has a lot of useful information of which I probably don't even remember what I told y'all. Okay, 6th grade. One thing that was in the video that I need to tell y'all is eventually you may need to get graph paper. Do not have your parents go out and get it now. Okay, if you want it for your homework or whatever, then have them just order it on Amazon or something like that. There's no need for y'all right now to go out and get graph paper. My 7th and 8th grade students, they need to get it, and I'm even offering to go to Office Depot or whatever it's called and get it myself and then bring it to your houses. But you guys don't need it, so don't stress your parents out about going and getting that. Second, just in case some of you do not have my number, it is on the Proto page under the Home tab, but just in case, I'm writing it up here. Now, please remember this is for school-related questions in math. This is so that you can turn in your math homework. This is the only way. If you do not have access to a phone, do your homework, and then when your parents are home or whatever, you can use their phone. One thing before I forget, you need to make sure that every picture you send me of your homework has your name and page number visible in the picture. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, if I'm going to print up every one of them and then grade, or if I'm going to just do it by edit on my phone. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know. I don't have all y'all's numbers, and since y'all are going to be using all these different devices, I need to have your name and page number on every single picture that you are sending me, okay? If you forget, I understand it, we'll get used to it, but I cannot give you credit or a grade if I don't even know whose paper it is. Keep in mind, I have 50 students that are sending me pictures and stuff like that. I got to keep track of what grade and everything this is. All right, also, you need to be watching Proto page. In my videos, I might forget to tell you when your quizzes or tests or IXL are due. You need to get used to getting on the Proto page. Y'all have been there before, and going to the homework tab, and under calendar, you'll see the daily homework. To the side, you're going to see individual boxes for each grade, and that's where your tests and quizzes are going to be posted. Like the dates and everything. This weekend, I'm going to work on figuring out when or how I'm going to do that. Y'all, every grade has tests and quizzes posted already, so you need to be watching that. In class, I have it written on a big whiteboard. I should probably do that here. Anyway, as a reminder for even me, this is going to be a lot of responsibility on y'all. So please remember, Google Classroom is where you're going to find your videos your daily videos. You'll also learn my YouTube channel that I've created. It has all of y'all's videos there too, and I'm labeling them according to grade and date. Like yours today is going to be 6th grade, March 20th. Okay, so then Mondays will be, 6th grade and the date. Again, this is preparing you for college, right? You're in 6th grade. I'm trying to think of something else because y'all missed that whole introductory video. Anyway, I think we'll just get started, and if I think of anything or if you have questions, just let me know. All right, so here we go. Oh, that was something else. Guys, this is a video. So at any time, you can pause the video. If you need to go do something, you can rewind the video and play it again. If you didn't understand something, or if I'm talking too fast, I don't have a whole class here to monitor about how fast or slow. Some of you are probably still going to take notes, and y'all are a little bit slower at writing than others. All you need to do is pause the video. I don't see y'all like I do in the classroom, where I can look up and see kids still writing, and I wait. I don't have that here. So you're going to have to pause the video when needed. You can ask me questions, send me texts or whatever, pictures and stuff like that. But here's the deal. Do not look at the first example, get confused, and send me a text. Review it, rewind it, watch it again, and then watch the whole video. If you still don't understand, please feel free to contact me, okay? And if your parents are watching this, bear with me. This is kind of flying by the seat of our pants right now, and I do a much better job of teaching when I'm in the classroom. Okay, so here we go. 9.1, areas of rectangles. Also, I'm learning that it would be and squares. It would be very useful for you to already have your book ready to go, okay? Because I'm hearing from other students in other grades that they started watching the video and they were just kicked back, relaxed, watching the video, and then they had to scramble and find their book and paper and pencil and stuff like that. So every day when you're ready to watch your math video and do your math, just make sure you have all your supplies with you. And again, because y'all missed the whole introductory video, unlike what the high school's doing where everything is scheduled, you guys can do this when you can, okay? I mean, I think the way 5th and through 8th grade and 9th grade, because I have 9th graders, the way we're doing it is very useful for you guys. Some of y'all are not even at home. You're with other family members. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on right now in your life. Your parents are having to work at home and maybe using the computer and stuff like that, and you have to wait your turn. Some of you have siblings that are and y'all are sharing devices and everything. So that's why we decided that we're a work at your own pace kind of thing. You can do math every day. The math videos are going to, from here on out, starting Monday, they're going to be posted at 8 a.m. So you can start at 8 a.m. You can do it at noon. You can even do it in the evening. It's entirely up to you and what works with y'all right now, okay? But keep in mind that this is your lesson. At the end of the video, I assign your work, kind of like we do in class. It's going to be just like that. It's due the next day, unless I specified, that it's due some other time. Like today's assignment will be due Monday because, it's Saturday. And even though we're all at home, and I could say it's due tomorrow, we're keeping to somewhat of like a school schedule. So this will be due Monday. And I am assigning IXL, but I'm not assigning it for other grade levels. Algebra 1's the only one they need it. But you guys, everyone else is going to be assigned on Monday that y'all can be working on it. This weekend, though, I will be posting the links to the IXL on my Proto page. So if you want to get a jump start this weekend to work on stuff, you certainly can. Just know that it will be assigned eventually. Okay, so here we go. 9.1 areas of rectangles and squares. Oh, and that's another thing. I'm so sorry. Again, because y'all missed the first video. I am going to be skipping around. We've lost a lot of time with this, and because of this situation, we don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, next week. We don't know how the internet's going to be going. So I'm going to be finishing up this chapter with area. And then the rest of the chapters, it's going to be hit and miss sort of thing. I'm going to be picking and choosing the most important ones. So don't panic if we start skipping around. And then make up for lost time at the end if we can. I want to make sure that y'all get what I know you're going to need for next year in this way that we're doing things now. All right, area. This whole chapter is pretty much deals with area. The last chapter you did with like perimeter and different, polygons and triangles and stuff like that. This one's going to be area of all those things. Now, the difference between area and perimeter is like you see the rectangle on here. Perimeter versus area. Some of you are probably shaking your heads because you know this already. I'm teaching to the entire class, so just be patient. Perimeter is dealing with pretty much like the outside of the figure. Okay? If you remember, and you may not, it's been a while, It's when you add up all the sides of the figure, that's going to give you your perimeter. If it was a circle, in fact, I'll even do that. We didn't really call it perimeter for the outside. Who can remember what we called it? Of course, some of you are answering and I don't hear you, but it's the circumference. It's the same thing as perimeter, but we're talking about a circle. You can even see how it's kind of like circle in the word. So circumference is like the perimeter of the circle. All right, area is a little bit different. And typically, sometimes kids will get confused, believe it or not, on which is area and which is perimeter when they're asked that on test questions, especially tests like the Iowa and STAR, etc. Which, to answer your question on the Iowa, I'm pretty sure it's going to be canceled, but I'm not sure right yet. Area is going to be all that's on the inside of the figure. So everything on the inside is your area. The outside of the figure is your perimeter. Just like the area of a circle. Now, on this section, we're not going to be dealing with circles. Be glad, because it's a little more intense. Today we're doing just the perimeter and area of rectangles and squares. This is an easy lesson for the first lesson of this distance learning thing. Again, let's remember that perimeter is basically you're adding up all the sides of the figure. Okay? Area, I'll underline that sides. Area is the measurement of all the inside. Okay, I'm going to give you like a real world example. Look at the room that you're in right now. Take a look at it. Look at the walls, where the wall meets the floor. Okay? If I were to ask you to measure the perimeter of that room, which is something that would be kind of fun to do right now, y'all should do that. Go find a tape measure. I have one right here. Hold on. See? Tape measure. I just happen to have one. Where's... Oh, right here. I can't figure out which camera I'm using. Okay, so tape measure looks like this. All right. Look at your room that you're in. If you go measure each wall, the whole length of the wall, every wall, like you should have 4 walls, but if you're in a room like mine, you have weird walls. So anyway, measure every wall and then add it together. That would give you the perimeter of the room. Okay, that would give you the perimeter around, like baseboards. You know what I'm saying? Those little boards that run along the floor and the wall. That is when you measure to go buy that stuff, which all of you need to know how to do. You would just measure the length of every wall, add that together, and that gives you the perimeter of the room. Then you can go shopping at Lowe's and stuff like that, like I plan on doing later. So anyway, if you were to get like flooring, like carpet or hardwood floors or rug or something like that for your room, you would then measure and calculate the area. The area would be like your whole floor, not just like the wall length or anything, but your whole floor. So that would be your area. Now, to find the area, you need to know the measurement of 2 specific walls. Let me show you. For example, this was your room right here, and you wanted to buy carpet for your room or your bedroom. Nice little project to do while we're all quarantined. You would measure this wall right here. We'll call that X. And measure this wall right here. We'll call it Y. Multiply them together, and there you go. That's area. So there's a whole lesson in one little thing. You would measure this wall and this wall, multiply them together, and that would tell you the area, and you can go and buy yourself some flooring. The formulas for these. Remember, we're doing rectangles and squares. For a rectangle, its area equals base times height, or area equals length times width. Now, listen carefully. Your book shows both of these formulas, okay? Normally, you don't hear this one as much. You hear length times width. So I would put, in fact, I'm going to underline this one, because this is the one that you're going to hear most about, length times width. All right, just makes sense. Base times height. Let's save the base times height thing for when you're doing triangles and stuff like that, because that can get confusing. So length times width. But I am going to specify the A is for your area, B is your base, H is your height. Again, A is your area. This is a cursive L because I want it to not look like a 1. That's your length. And this is your width. Okay? All right, so this is how it would look. You would have your base and your height. Basically saying base times height. It's going to give you everything on the inside. It's going to tell you the measurement of that. Or you can use the other formula, which is the one I would strongly suggest. Now, I mean, I could be wrong, right? I don't know everything. Length and width. So it'd be length times width. Remember, the dot means times. And that's going to give you the measurement of everything inside. Keep in mind, when two letters, I need to get me a new pen, I know, are next to each other, you multiply them. Okay? Guys, think real quick, because I know some of you have argued with me on this, and I'm not naming names. You know who you are. We have to start using the dots to specify multiplication. And some of you already know the reason why. If I were to put an X here, B, X, H, that's exactly how you'd see it. You wouldn't see B times H. You would see B, X, H. It's now becoming a letter. Okay, so we got to get used to that, using dots instead of the X. Okay? Okay, so that's rectangle. Makes sense, right? Now for square. That one has also two formulas. Now, some of you are going to understand the first one very well. Some of you may not be too comfortable with it, so I'm giving you two ways of looking at it, all right? Area equals S squared. Or area equals S times S. S squared is the same exact thing as saying S times S. Okay? Some of you, this you're not comfortable with yet. Okay? You're going to need to be real soon, but right now, let's just learn area and not worry about that. If you are that person where you're like, no, that makes me crazy as soon as I look at it, I'd rather stick with this. This is much prettier. Some of you are up for the challenge and you're like waiting to use exponents. So there you go. This one, I'm not going to underline one or the other because at this point, they're the same thing. This means area, of course. The S, that just means side. Same thing here. You have your area, and this is side, and this is side. Okay? So that's what the S means. Just, it's side squared. So for example, remember a square, all the sides are the, I mean, my picture is not very good, but it's supposed to be a perfect square. All the sides are supposed to be the same. Okay? They're supposed to be the same. So side times side is going to give you, side times side is going to give you the measurement of everything on the inside. Okay? If you notice, whether you're doing a square or a rectangle, you're just measuring two sides. You notice that? So all these formulas, okay, great. Even this one, the square one, to be straight with you, do you have to even memorize this? No, you don't. All you need to know is multiply the two sides. Now, you can't multiply like this side and this side, or this side and this side. You can with a square because they're all the same, right? A square, every side is the same measurement, but a rectangle is different. So if you were to multiply, oh no, I can see that the video is not working very well. It's delayed. Okay, don't look at my face. Anyway, multiply the two sides that are next to each other, not across. Same with here. Okay, so all of the sides of a square are the same. So just multiply any two sides together. Or, whoops, square one side. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep moving. If you need time to write this down, then just pause the video, okay? Okay? All right. Something that's also very important, all labels for area are squared. For example, if the answer was 250 feet, it's 250 feet squared. Yes, labels matter now, okay? Because pretty soon we're going to be doing volume, and that's going to have a totally different label. Another one would be like 15 inches, then it's 15 inches squared. 25 centimeters, 25 centimeters squared. Make sure that you do not forget